APC and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, were in a quandary over the call, but Labour Party said they would go ahead with tomorrow's rally in Lafia. Let's not forget that Lafia is the state capital to Nasarawa. Nasarawa is just one leg like this, and one leg from Abuja, and you're in Nasarawa state. All right, so I don't know if this is a wise way to go, but the ruling party is saying that they would abide by whatever advice is given by the nation's security agencies. And so far, the security agencies have not said, okay, campaigns should be on hold. So if the Labour Party does go ahead with their campaign rally in Nasarawa, well, they're not flouting any rule. But the question is it wise at this time, especially given that, Nasarawa is just, next door neighbor to Abuja? More details of that on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Moving on, we also have $1.5 billion Lekki deep sea port ready for test run. And we have that the Nigeria's deepest seaport will test run operations next week. And the Lagos State Governor has confirmed this yesterday. So the test run is preparatory to commercial operation of the seaport. So that's that. And they have also facilitated more than $600 million in investment into that, working closely with private and public sector partners. More details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. You're welcome into the studio, Fuad.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so we also have here interesting story. PDP members defect to APC in Lagos.
It's okay.
Do you think it has anything to do with Wike's visit and endorsement of the APC gubernatorial candidate?
No, I don't think so. Our politicians are used to jumping around. It's just a normal thing.
Why so close to the election period?
I've seen more will still happen. Even the dates for election, people will still move.
That's allowed?
It's a personal thing. It's not anything constitutional. You can move. You can always move.
If you have a mandate, Uncle. If you have a ticket.
I know that one. But there's one that we are seeing here to resolve, and that's one, the one in Kano State, Shikara. He already has the ticket of the NNPP, and now he's in PDP. But our political parties are just platforms for winning election. There's no ideology, there's nothing. You can move around, so. That's unfortunate.
But what we have now is that no fewer than 5,000 members of PDP yesterday. They've already defected, actually. So the defectors were members of the Lagos for Lagos movement, and they wore their t-shirts and caps to match and stormed the APC office with their brooms singing and with their PDP shirts.
Yeah, they won't chain clothes. The thing is this, Sandra, let me just again, because this particular report is saying specifically that they are members of the Lagos for Lagos movement. I think the last time I saw the interview of Jandor, that's the PDP candidates on the TV station, your channels on Rise TV, and he sounded demystified.
Unsure.
He was so unsure. He
wasn't put together.
He wasn't put together. He was a bit clumsy in his responses. And
organized.
And that interview came after Wike came to Lagos and made that particular statement, So
could it be that his confidence is lost?
I think his confidence level seems to have dropped, in recent time. And that interview
that's unfortunate.
Capped it all. And now that if you have this number of persons from this particular movement, they're not just PDP members. They're actually from his own movement, 5,000 is a huge number. Although I'm always worried about these figures, who counted them?
I was going to say that. Maybe they came. Yes, we saw they came to the secretariat, but who now counted?
Why not 5,001? Not right now.
Always a fixed.
5,000. Because it should be more than 5,000. If you are, it's 5,000, we remove you. So sometimes all of these figures,
the extra one person should please go.
Not follow us.
All right. That is.
And there are also questions on how we have been managing the PDP. On Political Roundtable, I said it will open to get into the studio to answer some of these allegations. I've spoken to a number of PDP members who said, look, this guy did not listen to the leadership of the party. The choice of his running mate, for example, was just a decision that he made.
Which brings us to, the conversation that they had in the Situation Room yesterday as regards, governors and the power that they hold over
deputies,
over political parties. Yes. Okay. So I mean, maybe he's
not the governor yet.
That's the thing. So he felt that I'm the one, I'm running for the governorship of this state. I should be in charge of whatever is happening.
It shouldn't be, because the surprising thing for me was that, for example, if Chief Bobby George, who is supposed to be an other statesman, who is supposed to be one of the leaders of the party in the Southwest, and in Lagos particularly, saying that, look, we had a discussion with him and said, look, use Gbadebo Roots as a running mate. And he said no. And I've also seen some PDP members, and I'm saying this, who said, look, he was the one that compiled the list. Everybody on the ticket of the PDP in Lagos State were compiled by
myself.
And I'm saying, how did this suddenly get to the point where the entire leadership of the party? Again, these are allegations. So if we are hoping that we bring him to the studio and ask him some of these questions.
People have left his movement. Hope his movement.
Maybe 5,000 are not.
Hope his movement will still.
People left. 5,000. I don't know.
Hope his movement will still move. If 5,000 people.
I'm sure he has more than 5,000 members. So.
Okay, I remember
that his deputy said.
The deputy said she has 20 million.
So 5,000 is just a small number.
Right. 5 people shot during protest against Akinrun's appointment. So 5 people were shot yesterday in Ikirun, the headquarters of Ifelodun local government in Osun State, during protest against the appointment of Akinrun of Ikirun. So what we have is that protesters were on rampage and they made bonfires on major streets, paralyzing commercial activities, and of course security agencies.
We really moved the choosing of urbans away from Ifa to governors and politicians to deciding this thing like that. That's when we started having issues of violence. In those days, in the ancient times, it's fine and everybody we politicize the entire process. So
more details on page 27. We also have here no room for vote buyers during election, and that's coming from EFCC. That's on page 3. Ondo politician found dead. Okay, and that is on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. So a former political appointee in Ondo West local government area, simply identified as Olarewaju, has died in a hotel after alleged sex romp with his lover. It's okay.
I like the word alleged.
Okay. That's moving on. That more details on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. And now above the mass NDDC board members before Senate. So recently they got an acting chairman, DG, Director General. So the names of the board members have now been presented to the Senate. That's what that is.
There's going to be a change in the performance of the NDDC this time. So it's not just a story of corruption.
It will be accepted by the Niger Deltans also, because they can say, this committee was not represented, this committee is not. I don't know. But more details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Flood claims will be over 1 trillion naira, says insurance. Insurance companies right now.
Except for urban cities.
But the Nigerians pay attention to insurance.
I think bank centers and then for vehicles who are submerged, not even for homes but even for factories too, for goods that are kept in warehouses.
Are they insured?
A lot of them do. Yeah, quite a number of places do that. Yeah. Especially for factories, companies, and.
I think this would, probably open the eyes of a lot of people to insurance. When people get insurance, the only thing they know is life insurance and car.
Third party.
Even
the third party is. We don't even look close to it. Even something happens, everybody will take it seriously. We don't even know why we are even doing this to start.
They just know it's part of
the documents of the world.
Car documents. Alright, well, insurers are in for it right now. And hopefully there are no loopholes that would not make them pay people that they're supposed to pay, because that happens. But more details on page 6. Finally, from the Nation newspaper, NNPCL Daewoo Group signed MOU on Kaduna refinery. So what is happening in Kaduna with NNPC?
Maybe all with the ways are the car the ways are them.
Yes, and that's why I'm interested in this particular story as to how they were able. Okay, so the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) signed a memorandum of understanding with Daewoo Group of South Korea for the rehabilitation of Kaduna refinery. All right. So, according to the statement issued by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the signing ceremony happened in Seoul, South Korea, on the sidelines of the World Bio Summit. The president went for. All right, and okay. Well, is that a good development, though? Let me just put that out.
The thing is this: we've had timelines from the NNPC on when these refineries will start working. So if we're just signing an agreement, and if you remember the timeline is always like, I think the timeline was like June 2023. So if we're just signing, if in 7 years we've not been able to fix it, as this particular,
I'm interested in the details of the memorandum of understanding. If they rehabilitate, will it be a percentage, as profit ratio share?
That's my own concern. Is do they have the capacity? The last time I had anything, they were producing cars.
No, actually.
And the car as far as in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. But they will actually, aside from cars and whatnot, also into maritime. But hopefully.
I just feel that as a people we are being fiddled with. I think people are just faffing around with us.
Oh, I thought you wanted to say we were gullible.
No, we're not. It's just that sometimes
for believing they like me now, I believe them. 98.3 FM. Hopefully, maybe this is why they were able to give us a projected time
to start working again.
And well, they are not building from scratch; they are rehabilitating.
Let's fix that refinery.
Why they choose Kaduna?
No, it's one of the ways. Let us get it working. That's okay. Let's see how it goes, right?
Affected ISWAP fighters, tension heightens, and then we have riders to that. UK issues fresh alert. IG releases. The FCTA demolishes shanties.
That's been proactive too.
Okay. Jabi shopping mall has been shut.
Part of it proactive too, yeah.
Other facilities tighten security.
It's okay. Yes. But I think the usual shanties, yes, it's part of being proactive. But if you remember, DME would always say that these guys, any people you find in uncompleted buildings and shanties, they probably will be in posh apartments in
urban areas.
They may just be amongst us living normal lives and all of that. So
all right, and moving on now. That's on Terror Alert. But just very quickly, we don't have so much time. Just very quickly, I want to ask a question. Move forward with it or not? But now, the Labour Party has the rally tomorrow.
In
Nasarawa State, and they said they will go ahead with it. There's no law saying don't hold a rally, but do you think it's a wise decision?
Well, if they get enough assurance from security operatives, for example, enough is done on the VEDEC, what people are bringing in, detectors, and all of that. So if they work with the security operatives and they have enough assurance to say nothing will happen, they can always go ahead.
Okay, so still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, pictures of the firemen and the fire trucks, and there also some videos of them driving to the place.
And then also do a bit of demo on how to use some.
We also have flood threatens 1.9 trillion naira CBN agric schemes, loses mouth. So just beside the masthead of the Punch, we have "You are wrong, Tinubu not selfish." Ononuga replies publicity of the Presidential Campaign Council of Tinubu Shetima. Bayo Ononuga said that the APC presidential candidate is ready to serve Nigeria. All right, but he also faulted the leader of Yoruba Nation's vision is personal and not for the welfare of the Yoruba people.
That's the opinion of Professor Akintola, and he has the right to eat. For anyone, which is enshrined because it's a fundamental human right thing. So,
all right.
I don't want to dwell too much on the if we are more interested in who becomes the president and what they're going to do for the people.
What they have to offer.
That's what I'm interested in.
All right, and finally from Finally, from the Punch newspaper, we have federal government open talks with investors on Lagos Calabar Rail. So what we have is that the federal government has commenced discussions with a new investor that will share the scope of work with the franchise holders, that is China Civil Engineering Construction,
CCEC or something.
CCECC. To facilitate the delivery of the coastal rail from Lagos to Calabar. I'm happy with the real projects that has been going on.
Well identified and the way you're trying to push it.
Because leaving aside what happened at the Abuja Kaduna rail line, but I mean the rail has actually been a very effective one. Although someone who traveled from Lagos to Ibadan complained of the many stops, that there were a lot of stops. It was almost like Mulwe. It was stopping a lot. That's something that's not supposed to be less than an hour. Lagos to Ibadan, it took them over 2 hours.
And that's not good enough.
I mean, so I think maybe that's another thing they should look into. So if they can,
I actually been trying to see how to take a ride too.
I don't have anything to do in Ibadan. I would have said, okay, I should try it out. But it's a good one, though. We appreciate it. Moving on now, finally to Vanguard newspaper. The major headline: UK insists on terror alert as major mall, that's Jabi, shuts operation. And there's a whole lot of riders to that, but we have discussed this extensively already. More details on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. We also have here Nigeria can't keep borrowing to fund agencies with duplicated functions. I thought that's coming from the reps. All right, but I thought that there was this agreement.
The National Committee was supposed to merge a lot of these agencies.
Exactly, that you have.
That's one question: what is the difference between the job of the ICPC and the EFCC?
They are both crimes commission people.
The financial, economic crimes, so why not just merge them? And then, if I will even tell you that they're supposed to be, yes, it's good that we have to best merge it to the ICP so that we don't continue to duplicate. People even that the diaspora commission, that is headed by Abikebabu, people are supposed to be a department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Why is it?
Why are they separate? So all of these things. Again, when we're talking about cost of governance, that is how things we look at. Manage some of these things so that you reduce cost of governance, because for each of these and parastatals, you have to look for buildings for them, logistics, furniture, maintenance. You have to pay salaries, employees, staff, and all of that. So,
all right. Well, moving on, still on the front page of Vanguard, we have why federal government is keeping Nnamdi Kanu despite court ruling, and that's coming from the AGF and Minister of Justice Malami. And what we have is, despite the court's ruling against Nigeria to return the leader of IPOB to Kenya and pay him 500 million naira as compensation, the federal government is not inclined to free him based on several factors. And what we have is to release or not to release a function of law and the rule of law for that matter. Let's talk about the rule of law. This is someone that has been granted bail on account of charges that have been preferred against him at the court. Okay, 2, arising from national security on account of his incitement. Okay, so that boils down to issues of national or a foreign country to launch an attack against a nation, against his nation, which is indeed the only case that has been determined. There exist in the system other cases relating to John Bill, inciting the points that he has laid out.
All of these were things that the federal government should have taken to the courts, not us.
No, he's explaining to people.
To which people?
The people that say, why have
did he explain to the courts, and the courts ruled otherwise? The
point is the court has given an order.
So
why not?
These are the things. These are what you're saying. These are the things you've told the courts, and they looked at the merits of your case, flouted some basic rules of extradition and issue of rendition. And after they go back to Kenya. We talked about the Abba Kyari case. US should have just come to Nigeria and abduct Abba Kyari to the US. But they look at this extradition notice, you file the case, there's a process. And you can't bring legality or illegality. That's what the court is saying. Why do you think that the federal government should at least obey the court and then do other things? Maybe file an appeal, a state of education, and all of that. And then, but the idea of coming up with all this is not for us, it's for the courts.
I think you've actually, eaten into an beyond our time. Yes, actually. So thank you. We were unable to take the remaining stories from Vanguard, unfortunately. But we'll be back by 8:40 for Mainland Focus, where you get to be a part of the show. Thank you for staying with us. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Listen to this to understand the amazing power of 5G.